day's been getting started off late because I've been sleeping too hard, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing to get you sleep, but it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing to get you sleep, but it's a bad thing when you be in a coma sleep. You know what I'm saying? I guess I need the rest, but I came to you to talk to you about the recent debate that happened last night. And I need to state some simple facts. I want to lay a foundation for this rabbit hole that we about to jump into. And I want to say this to you, ladies and gentlemen. Before you go chasing waterfalls and jumping down rabbit holes, you must lay a foundation and anchor a line to that foundation. You want it to be concrete and tie a safety harness on it. And if you're going to go chasing waterfalls and try and jump off the cliff and run and chasing waterfalls, again, you want to have a safety line. So I'm going to lay out the safety line, and then we're going to jump down the rabbit hole. Are you with me? Yes, you're always with me because I love you and you love me. So watch this. Last night's debate, and somebody should pay me. They really should pay me because I'm watching the pundits today, and I'm like, these people don't get it. None of them understand what the hell was last night was about. Wrestler Foundation. Everybody thinks last night's debate was a debate between J.D. Vance and a debate between Tim Walz. That is not what the reality of the debate was. That's nowhere near what the reality of what you were looking at was. Last night was a juxtaposition between the orange gorilla that's going to save the world and the replacement for the orange gorilla once he has saved the world. So, orange gorilla, Donald Trump. You have to have a strongman in orange gorilla to beat the bricks off your adversaries. J.D. Vance, the smoothed out politician who's clean and tarnished and ready to go. That was the initial juxtaposition. That's the foundation I'm laying, and you will understand why that foundation is important. Let's jump to the debate and go down the rabbit hole. Watch this. J.D. Vance is so polished, so cold-blooded. Wait. Let me pull a rope back. We're climbing back up. We'll come back out before I go down. Whew, we almost went down the hole. Let's lay out what the objective of the debate was, secondary objective, and who the target audience of that debate was. The target audience of that debate last night was not mad lad savages like me and you who are Donald Trump supporters. We're fine with Orange Man being as bad as he wants to be. We loved when he was calling Kim Jong-un little rocket man. We love when he killed the dude in Iran and he was like, he died like a dog. We didn't have no problem with none of that. We thought it was funny. We thought it was cool. So the target audience is not us. If you don't understand that the target audience is not you, you will be lost in the sauce. Now let's go down the hole. All right, we're descending down the hole. We're rappelling down the hole. Wait, if I'm rappelling, my hands will be going this way. They'll be going up like this, right? So we rappelling. First stop, first ledge. J.D. Vance walked into La La Land last night. And this is what he did. And this is the coldest, I'm a curse, so pardon my language. This is the coldest brainwashing House of Cards shit I ever seen that he did last night. And nobody really sees it. Tim Walz, the target audience is the independents and dissatisfied Democrats. Independents, dissatisfied Democrats. The independents who sitting on the fence, the dissatisfied Democrats who sitting there saying, well, you know, I voted for Joe Biden and Kamala, but shit, there's a port strike and I want to see, I like Kamala, but damn, they got war going on in Ukraine. They got a war going on in Israel. I like them, but that's who they're targeting. Right? So we got the target audience. Now, you can't bring a Trumponian personality into La La Land to recruit those people out of La La Land. Because think about it, they've been programmed to where weakness is strength. That's why they don't like Donald Trump, because weakness is strength to them. The media has told them, oh, he's mean, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's orange, he's racist, he's that. He's this. Donald Trump is bad. Yay. Donald Trump is bad. Yay. JD Vance is weird. All right, so we understand you can't go over there into La La Land where they riding on unicorns, sliding down rainbow slides into water pools. Everybody is raining Skittles out of the clouds. You can't go over to La La Land and walk in as a giant 5,000-ton gorilla. So this is what JD Vance did. JD Vance puts on a suit and he gets his clothes together and he says, all right, Don, I'm gonna go to La La Land because you can't go to La La Land, Don. There's no way you can go do this. I'm gonna go to La La Land. I'll be right back. So prior to the debate, everybody's on the mountain surrounded La La Land. JD Vance is coming. He's evil. JD Vance is coming. He's wicked. JD Vance is coming. He's weird. JD. And he's on the mountain. They're screaming. The watchman going off. And he just walking along. He stops. He puts on some unicorn slippers. He looks around. Steps behind a tree. Takes off his regular clothes. Puts on a Skittles, Airhead, a watermelon Airhead rainbow robe. And then he just walks up to the gate, knocks on the gate, doom, 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 and they let him in. And so he starts a conversation. And he systematically bitch slaps Tim Walz all over the place. But he bitch slaps him left, right, up and down without coming across too strong because he knows that in La La Land, once you cross into La La Land, strength is weakness. So he goes over there and weakly slaps him. You know, not like a full palm slap where you do like, by the way, if you ever want to really hit somebody and get away with it and not go to prison, just open your hand like this. Don't close your fist. Open your hand, rear back, all the way back. And pow, smack the shit out of their ass. They ain't gonna sue you. But anyway, he just opened his palm like this. And instead of rearing all the way back, he just started doing them like, psh, psh, psh. It was light work. He wasn't hitting the man hard. It was light work. And everybody like, oh, JD Vance should have went harder. He don't have to go no harder than that. That's how weak the opponent is. Y'all saw how that man looked like he was a deer within headlights? Anything more than what JD Vance would have done would have been detrimental. And I'm explaining to you why. But watch this. He hits him on the perfect points. They start talking about what Kamala's going to do. Hey, man, Kamala's in office right now. She hasn't done this. She hasn't done this. She hasn't done this. She hasn't done this. Perfect. Perfect. Not too aggressive because he's polished. And so now he gets over there and he gets it done. And as we're going through the process, now he starts to get Tim Walz to agree with him. And everybody's sitting there like, imagine the scene now. We are in La La Land. It's 185 of us. It's about 40 of y'all that don't like me, but I'm going to bring your bitch ass to La La Land too. Because you got up this morning to watch me because you don't like me. Come your ass to La La Land with me too. So you can learn. I want you to learn something. So now you in La La Land. And don't be doing none of that magic shit you be trying to do. Don't be trying to cast spells on none of these folk in my La La Land. Leave them people alone. They can't deal with none of that magic. So we all in La La Land. And so now the proposed leader for La La Land is agreeing with JD Vance, which in turn means that we all are starting to say, oh shit, I agree with him too. Yeah, that makes sense. So now he done mind screwed this man in La La Land to the point to where he's agreeing. So now everybody else is coming into agreement with him. When you saw Tim Walz start to say he agrees, that was everybody else coming into agreement with him. Symbolically, everybody else was coming into agreement with him. And trust me, a lot of people was like, oh, wow, you know, this JD Vance guy's not that bad. He has unicorn flip-flops on. He's not evil. I feel safe listening to him because in La La Land, silence is violence. Remember, they tell you what goes on over there. Silence is violence. Silence is violence. Words are rape in La La Land. But nobody can seem to understand this concept. It's like a whole alternate dimension. And this is why I say JD Vance is a bad mamma jamma. He knew where he was walking into. But let's keep going. So Tim Walz starts to agree with him. Man, I look crazy with that on my eyebrow like that. Huh? My bad. Hold on. looking crazy as shit. All right, let's do it this way. So Tim Walz starts to agree with him, and I'm like, boy, this dude cold-blooded. I mean, he's really cold at what he's doing. Ice cold, colder than a polar bear's toenails. All hell, that's how cold he is. So I'm watching, and I say to myself, did he just walk into La La Land, smack the crap out of the leader of La La Land, and to get all the people to agree? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if he can walk out of La La Land and achieve the perfecta, which is walk out of La La Land and leave no trace to where anybody can turn and counterattack him, this will be the most perfect debate performance I've ever seen. But there's only one way you can see it, is after the debate. So they get to the closing statements, and I'm thinking, okay, JD, whatever you do, remember, you are talking to people in La La Land. Do not go Donald Trump. And he turns around and he does it perfect. And I'm sitting there saying, what manner of politician is this? That's a politician. And what you need to understand is J.D. Vance, that was a politician. Donald Trump ain't no politician. Point blank, period. That's why he's able to do what he's able to do, because he's not a politician. But boy, J.D. Vance is one hell of a politician. And I'll prove my point to you. If you go watch Democratic news, they don't have attack talking points on the debate. They don't have anything that they can attack on that debate. Watch this. Juxtaposition. Donald Trump debates Kamala Harris. Don is up there being the orange gorilla. For the next days, they're shouting from the mountains, Donald Trump just humiliated Kamala and called her weak. Donald Trump hates women. Donald Trump hates this. Donald Trump hates that. They don't have anything from the debate to talk about, so all they can do is talk about how they're upset that that Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, let me go with the nicknames, because Tampon Tim didn't do a perfect job. Go look at the news. They can't even find anything from the debate to hold on to. So here's what happens now. The debate has to be swept under the rug, because not only did Tampon Tim lose, Tampon Tim got bitch slapped and lost. But it was the perfect slap, not for us, because we crazy. We're talking. We want to see him get embarrassed. No, it wasn't intended for us. It was intended for the independents and the disenfranchised Democrats. It was intended for the people in La La Land. And so here's what happens now. The debate has to fade out of the news. Some other event has to come to overshadow the debate, because he thoroughly, professionally, expertly whooped his ass. He went into his territory and whooped his behind. Now, everybody sitting there saying it was a 3-on-1 debate and the moderators, that don't matter. That's the expectation going into it. It makes him even more of an expert politician. So what Trump supporters and Republicans should be looking at is saying, hold on, man. Let's go further down the rabbit hole, because we down now. If you're a real Trump supporter, what you should be sitting there saying is, I got so much more respect for Donald Trump at this point in time, because he realized what his weakness was. And he went in and he actually fixed the weakness. The one weakness he has is he's not a politician. He's a 700-ton orange gorilla that comes in and beats the crap out of people and makes them do what they need to do. And his original plan clearly was to come in, fix America, hand it over to Mike Pence. But clearly it didn't go that way, because Mike Pence was the devil. And so now he's come back again and he's found kind of the perfect guy. I mean, this guy's good. And so when a man that's in leadership sees his weakness, but he's strong enough to create a juxtaposition with another strong person that's truly like JD Vance is dangerous to Donald Trump. You guys have to understand this. Let's watch this. If JD Vance was a traitor, he can go behind the scenes because he's that well polished, and he can cut a deal with the powers that be and say, yeah, well, if you guys take out Donald Trump, we can sit to the table and discuss things, because he's that polished to where it would be a crazy thing to happen if Don got hurt. Or let's just say he broke both legs. Let's say he tripped down the steps and broke both legs and he couldn't walk, and JD had to step up. That man is perfectly capable of stepping up. But not only stepping up, but what we saw last night by him going into enemy territory and putting on the armor of a rainbow weakness warrior, going in, conquering, and coming back out, lets you know that no. Not only is he a damn good politician, he's a damn good tactician. So he cold-blooded. Now you got to think it from Don's perspective. Don is picking out who he's going to put for a running mate, and he had to clearly see this. I mean, I watched the man when he did Apprentice. He sees things in people that, only businessmen can see. So he had to see this aspect of this guy. He still chose what was best for the nation. So you got to have respect for him, man, for the decisions that he made. People talking about Tim having, of course, Tim had crazy eyes. That was the other thing I took from the debate. When I first saw Tim Walz, I said, that man has Diddy Party pedophilia eyes. There's something wrong with that man. They came out last night on stage. Clearly came out on stage. I said, go back and look at my videos. I said, you can tell the soul of a person. You can see through the eyes of the window to the soul. You can see something's wrong with him. Go look. It's clearly there. So if you saw it, the rest of America saw it too. The only people who wouldn't see it that way would be the people in La La Land. So essentially what JD Vance did was this. JD Vance put on his armor. No, he changed clothes. Unicorn flip-flops. Skittles, cloud over his head, rain of Skittles. A robe of watermelon flavored airheads, and walked into their territory, slapped the piss out of their leader, debated their leader, had their leader agree with them, and then left out of the territory with playing the flute with people following him, and didn't give the watchers on the wall anything to say about it. The watchers on the wall who were the media who like, oh no, he's evil, don't get what, they don't have nothing to say. It's an expert job. It's an expert job. I'm sorry. It truly is an expert job. There's nothing else to say about it. There's no other way to, there's nothing, you can't take nothing from it, you can't add nothing to it. It was an expert job. I'm sorry. And for people who don't understand that call themselves pundits, you get your ass off TV. You know what I'm saying? Building lasting change. Oh, I forgot I gotta go to that event. Get on TV. You don't get it. You just don't get it. It was phenomenal. It was amazing. Somebody says reverse psychology. No, that's not even reverse psychology. That's what, like, reverse psychology would be different. That's called going into enemy territory with an objective, achieving your objective and leaving. So, for example, there was a time period where I was under the attack by some people who were very, very aggressive on YouTube. They were attacking my business, trying to affect my revenue. But to them, it wasn't like about being weak, it was about being aggressive. So I had to go into their territory and be aggressive, just as aggressive as they were, to put them in check. And go beyond their aggressiveness, come back out, negotiate a deal, and go about my business. And that's what happened. In his case, it was worse because you had to go into a place where weakness is admired, where weakness is a virtue. It really is a virtue. If you really look at, there was, before the debate, I think it was MSNBC or CNN, I was clicking through, there was this guy from the Young Democratic Party, and they walk up to him, and it was like, "Hey, ma'am, you're with the Young Democratic Party. What do you expect tonight?" And it ended up being a dude who said his name was Rose with red lipstick on, and everybody and the CNN guy was like, and then he just moved on. You gotta understand, weakness is a virtue, and people don't get that's what this real at the end of the day. The real juxtaposition between the Donald Trump, J.D. Vance campaign, the Harris, Biden, Waltz campaign, Harris, Biden, Waltz, Obama, Clinton, because that's really who he's competing against. Harris, Biden, Waltz, Obama, Clinton, Bush, Cheney. It's him versus the entirety of the deep state. The juxtaposition is strength versus weakness. Strength versus weakness. But when you say weakness, it's not necessarily like they're weak people. Like Hillary, there's nothing weak about Hillary Clinton. There's nothing weak about Barack Obama. It's the posture that they want the nation to take so that they can rule over you. So one is a posture of strength. The other is a posture of weakness. One is the posture of truth. The other is a posture of lies. Just like if you look at not Kamala Harris, if you look at Candace Owens, beautiful Candace Owens, gorgeous woman. If you look at the investigation she's doing on Kamala Harris's family, turns out Kamala lied about everything. Every damn thing. And don't you dare for a second think that Candace Owens just came upon that on her own. Don't you dare for a second think about that. Because if you go back and look, there was a time period where YouTube was saying they were going to ban Candace. And if she was banned. And then she came right back. And then next thing you know, Candace is doing a deep dive on Kamala. Go look at this, the course of events. Articles come out, Candace Owens banned from YouTube. 10 days later, Candace Owens is back. 2 days after that, she done put her foot up, Kamala behind. There's things that are going on behind the scenes that if you read the news, you see them. If you read the tea leaves, you see them, how they're playing out all over the place. And that's devastating. That's happening. I mean, it's devastating. You're talking about videos with 1 million views. And understand, 1 million views ends up being 20 million word of mouth, 30 million word of mouth, 40 million word of mouth. Because once the narrative sets in, all throughout chats, all over the place, people start speaking the narrative. She's doing devastating damage to the deep state. That's like people who came to me and was like, well, Alex Jones is so loud, you are a retard. Elon Musk is so loud, you are a retard. The level of damage that they're doing, you can't do that damage to the deep state and be on their side. You just can't be. You can't do that level of damage. Point blank, period. You just can't do it. Anyway, what I'm saying to you is this, homie. That was one hell of a debate. It wasn't exciting. It wasn't glitz and glamour. But what's happened since Donald Trump came into office is he shifted the expectations of political figures to the point to where you expect that Donald Trump behavior. Donald Trump is not the norm. He's a hybrid 15,000 ton King Kong gorilla that decided to climb down from the top of the tower and go in and start beating up on politicians. But it looks as if, oh, this is boring, this is this. No. It's because the other personality is so massive, so powerful, so strong. And this is what you should want in a leader. You should want that powerful, strong personality juxtaposed to Putin, juxtaposed to Kim Jong-un, juxtaposed to what's the dude? I'm about to say Mao Zedong. What's the dude name in China? The one that's killing all the Christians right now. What's the Chinese governor name? I mean, Chinese Communist president name, Xi Jinping. You should want that. Without a doubt, you should want it. I call him Winnie the Pooh. Erdogan. You should want him to pick up the phone and call Erdogan. Hey, Erdogan, sit your ass down. Stop it. You shoot one missile towards Israel, I'm going to blow your house up. And Erdogan is like, you can't talk to me like that. Hold on, I'm sending you a message. This is your house. This is where your kids are. You send one missile, I'm blowing your house up. That's what you want. That way you got a strong man protecting you, going about your business. And this is the thing that kills me about the side of the aisle that's like, that believes weakness is strength. The only damn reason why you allowed to be so weak is because we've been so strong. That's the only reason why you've been allowed to be so damn weak. Is because America has been so strong. I'm going to say it again. The only reason you've been allowed to be so weak is because America has been so strong. Now, juxtapose that to warfare, going around killing people, overthrowing governments, all these other different things that you can say we're guilty of. Absolutely, we guilty of. We went to courts of heaven and we had to testify before the Lord's throne. America stands guilty of shedding a lot of damn blood. There's no doubt about that. Anybody who will sit there and say that the American government, via the American government, the American people are innocent of shed blood, it'll be crazy. But that's what nations do. That's what nations have done since the beginning of nations. That's what nations do. They go to war. They kill people. They conquer. They do things. And I'm going to make the point again. The only reason why you can be so weak is because America, has been so strong. And that's the truth. The minute people start bending her over, which is what they're doing right now, and running trains on her, your weakness ceases to exist. You'll understand when the lights go out, when the internet go out, when the power go out, when the food run out. All of your weakness ceases to exist. All of the protections for your weakness cease to exist. And then in that environment, it's lions and it's sheep. It's wolves and it's rabbits. So you should want the orange man bad. You should want the gorilla. It's in your best interest to have the gorilla. If you want to continue to be weak, you need the gorilla. Other people don't need the gorilla. You need him. And so what the media has convinced you to do is reject what you absolutely need. You need him like air. Because if we get to the point where they bend America over and they treating it like we had a P. Diddy party, which is that's where we at right now. We at a Diddy party right now. We got people coming in from the border, her legs wide open. They coming in on every side. They go running up on her breasts. They all up under her armpits. They're sucking on her fingers. They're doing everything to her. They're doing every damn thing to her. I'm telling you, when that knife go up against her throat and she starts to bleed, all bets is off. And nobody want to tell y'all that. Your weakness, the protections for your weakness cease to exist. And so you're no longer allowed to be weak. And when the protections for your weakness cease to exist, you cease to exist because people are not going to stand for your weakness. Whether it be the invaders that came into this nation, which they let them in, whether it be the people listening to the radio saying the chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache, and they're sitting there plotting on how to take their nation back. They're not gonna stand for your weakness, because there's no asset to that weakness. There's no strength in that weakness. You have to go. You have to get gone one way or the other. That's all there to it. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. Tim Walz did a great job. If you're a liberal, it's in your best interest for Don to be there. It's in your best interest. Because when them bombs get to flying, which you real close, dog, real close. Y'all don't understand. They may have stuff that can shoot them out of the sky, but the EMP waves gonna knock out power. When it start happening, the first couple of days, you're gonna be sitting around. Oh, the power's gonna come back, and gonna be people like me gone. Taken. Everybody become takers. It's sad, but everybody becomes a taker at that point in time. It's gonna take you damn near, literally gonna take you damn near 3 months to realize that you need to be a taker. And you ain't even equipped to be a taker. And all you can do to prevent it all is not vote for people who are communists, clear communists. Tim Walz, clear history of communism. Kamala Harris has laid out that she clearly came from a communist cell. 2 communists, clearly. That's the thing that Candace Owens is hitting on. That's what she was drilling everybody to. Screw the fact that her mama is not a mom and her dad is not a dad. All that. No. The real point that she got to was this woman was birthed through a communist cell and moved up the ladder to be president. Tim Walz, history of working with China. What you're seeing is true American patriots versus communists. Exactly what Kennedy warned about before he got his head rocked, before he got his head knocked off his shoulders, when he went in and set up what people will call QAnon. That's what killed me about these Q people. Oh, it's Q. Don't know no history or nothing, but whatever. The point I'm making is it's communists. A bunch of damn commies. And that's it. A bunch of damn commies. Oh, by the way, Kamala win. All this YouTube talk stuff, that's done. They're going to shut all that shit off. That shit's gone. And I won't be clear with you. I love my nation enough to where I could have hid and kept talking about Bigfoot, dog man, and monsters and shit. They might have left me alone. But no. It's done. For everybody. Done deal. They're going to be arresting people. GW, they can't do that. Okay. You thought they couldn't let illegals cross the border, and you thought they couldn't give them welfare and houses and cars. No, who would have thought they would be doing that shit 2.5 years ago, 3.5 years ago? Huh? Who would have thought that they'd be doing that? Nobody. And the only reason why you know about it is because the people in Springfield said, hey, man, these some bitches is stealing our geese and sacrificing our geese. And the craziest thing about that, people don't even see the fingerprints on that story. They don't even see the thumbprint on that story. I said it. It don't matter whether they were sacrificing cats, sacrificing dogs, sacrificing geese. It don't matter. Only thing that mattered was the attention was brought to the fact that they're bringing these people over here. And that they're giving them subsidized housing. They give them IDs, allowing them to drive. They're giving them cars. The rest of it don't matter. The point of it was to bring attention to what they did so it can go into the collective conscience of the American people. And when it hit the collective conscious of the American people, the media lost their damn mind because they knew it was a losing narrative and they put Diddy ass in jail. How bad was the narrative affecting them that they decided to go with the narrative indicting and arresting P. Diddy and opening the doors to all the celebrities? Who risks that kind of exposure other than somebody who got a foot way up there behind? We're going into the month of October. This is October 2nd. Really? All right, guys. I'm getting ready to give up cigars for October. This about to be a doozy as a fast. Damn, that's about to be one right there. Give up something. Give up a coffee. Make a little sacrifice to the Lord to help protect this nation. I'm going to give up cigars. And the only way I can do that, I got to get rid of this one. This right here, I'm going to smoke it with y'all this evening. It's going to be my last one for October. And I'm going to smoke it with you this evening. Give up something. This nation needs to repent. And we need to fast. Yeah, I ain't going to tell you don't eat no food. Stay away from food because most people suffer when they do that. People got medical issues. But just give up something you really like for the month of October. You like drinking beer? Give up beer. You like having a glass of wine after work? Give up your glass of wine after work. You know what I'm saying? Drink some water. We need that. Somebody say good luck on that. You know how many days of fasting I've done where I've given up food, water, cigars? It ain't the end of the world. It's about who you love more. Do you love your God more or do you love your tobacco more? You might love yourself more. Somebody said the last fast was 20 days. That's awesome. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm giving it up. Because I'm not gonna go to before the Lord when I leave my body and come into all truth. And he'd be like, well, son, you were sitting there telling everybody what's going on because I'm telling you what's going on. And you know everybody needs to fast and repent, and you didn't even fast. No, I'm like, no, I remember I did that. And I gave up something that I really like. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not doing no nicotine patch. I'm not doing nothing. I'm gonna go through that pain, that withdrawal. I'm just got to go through it. I won't go through it. Now, when I come on here and I'm crazy, just understand what I'm going through. I mean, hey, if Jesus could have his flesh ripped from his bones, be hit 40 times plus, people say he was hit 40, it's 40 plus, with a whip with rocks, glass, bones, have his, literally, his skin ripped from his spine to where his spine was exposed, I can give up some damn cigars. You dig? I can give up a little tobacco. And I don't want no nicotine patch. I'm just going to do what I got to do. Some people say some don't understand fast. Well, you can go and Google a fast. I'll tell you who do understand fast. Witches understand fast. They do it all the time. For their God, they supervise the spirit. They do it all the time. They do it all the time. the majority of Christians that don't do the spiritual sacrifices that honor their supervising spirit, which is Ruach Elohim, the Holy Spirit. And that's just real talk. But there's more people calling for it. More pastors calling for it. The only two choices was this or this. Because those are two things that I do consistently. Port strike allows Kamala to push her price controls. Though port strike shows that Kamala is a loser who won't go negotiate. She won't negotiate. That's the thing that gets me about the demon crap party. I'm just gonna say it. Not saying that your cousin or your uncle or your auntie who's a Democrat is a demon. I'm saying the leadership, they don't seem to understand that everything they've done is backfired. And they don't seem to get that if everything you're doing if every time you put it like this, if every time you light a firecracker in your hand, it pop in your hand, the fuse burns supernaturally fast, and it pops in your hand. At some point in time, either you're going to blow your hand off or you're going to learn that you don't need to pop no more damn fireworks. At some point in time, you're going to figure it out. They don't seem to be figuring it out at all. They don't seem to be figuring it out at all. And that's what's getting me about them. Somebody said Zelensky is an actor. Really, bro? Somebody smoking a blunt? Really, bro? You seen somebody smoke a blunt this big and hold a conversation? He's crazy. The Zelensky thing. The truth of the matter is Zelensky was an actor. I mean, honestly, when you say that, you ain't lying. He really was an actor. You must have not just get into this conversation, but just to set the record straight, I don't smoke marijuana. I smoke cigars, and it ain't just for the show, homie. And the simple fact that when you see a cigar, the first thing you relate it to is marijuana says a lot about you, my friend. You don't realize what you just said about yourself. Do you think Donald Trump is New World Order? I just addressed that earlier. And my answer is no. Again, the simple fact when you see a cigar, the first thing that comes to your mind is that it's marijuana says a lot about you. No need to justify it. I mean, you just told everybody what mindset you in. That's all I'm saying, bro. Don't be mad at me because I'm just pointing out. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. You dig? Now, I think the final point to conclude this all is this. Watch for the narrative change. Today is Wednesday. This can't go on beyond tomorrow. They can't stop it from running through social media and the social media pundits hitting them with the fact that Tim Walz looked weird. His eyes look like a pedo. That he agreed with JD Vance. They can't stop what's coming as it pertains to that. But what they can do is they can try and change the narrative going into the weekend. Because they can't have it sit into the weekend where everybody has time to look. Like right now, people going back and forth to work. They're doing what they need to do. Bada bing, bada boom. Yada, 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 yada. And so they got to change it before people really get a chance to sit and look at it. You know what I'm saying? So let's look for the narrative change. Let's look for the narrative change. And see, because they don't really have a lot of choices, good options. The only thing that's on the table that's a good thing is more Diddy news. Now, if it's really disastrous for them, which I don't believe the debate was that disastrous for them, it was a disaster, but it wasn't as disastrous as it could have been. But if it was super duper disastrous, somebody else would get indicted. Somebody's name will pop up. And I think that's what this 120 people who have been accusing Diddy is about. And you notice them priming the pump for some of these are very powerful people. A 9-year-old girl came out and said she was 9 years old when this happened with Diddy. Thank you, James Boggs, for the $10. I appreciate you. So, they primed the pump to slow roll out stuff that will eventually change the narrative. All they got to do is drop one name. So the issue is who they going to sacrifice. That's the issue. Who are they going to sacrifice to change the narrative? What I mean by sacrifice, I mean sacrifice on the altar of celebrity destruction. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to go. They're lining it up. You see it. 120 powerful names. 9-year-old girl comes out. Remember, it started with 50 people. Now it's 120 people. I mean, damn, that's a class action lawsuit against Diddy. You know what I'm saying? It's a class action lawsuit with Diddy. Did Trump ever chill with Diddy? If Trump chilled with Diddy, this is how you know Trump ain't rolling with Diddy. If Trump chilled with Diddy, that would have been the first thing that came out. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe the majority of the stuff about P. Diddy. You got to believe it at this point in time. I mean, you got people in the industry telling you that it's true. Not just the media. It was people. It was Cat Williams. It was Jaguar Wright. Those were the bell whistles before this. These are people who were in the industry. So the fact that just because the media picked up on it doesn't mean it's true. The bellwethers, the canary in the coal mines were people from the industry. So you might as well throw that out of the window. The issue truly boils down to with the attacks you've seen on Donald Trump, if you think for a second that if he had an association with Diddy where he was on tape with Diddy, that wouldn't have been the first thing that came out, then it just tells me you don't think. You've seen every attack on that man. PP Gate, they said he was peeing on prostitutes. Come on, man, think. You got an enemy that sued you. You had a whole woman go up there that he never met and said that he sexually assaulted her. He ain't never meet the bro. Then she came out and said, I never met him. You trying to tell me they're going to go to that extent and lie on the man? And then if they got something that can really hurt him, they ain't going to use it, man? You crazy. You crazy. Come on. Think, man. That's the problem. People don't fucking think. And I understand because people have never really been attacked in that manner, so they never had to think in that manner. Yeah, Stormy Daniels. Think about it. The whole, what's up, brother? How you feeling today? How are you? I'm doing good. Think about it. With Stormy Daniels, they ran a Stormy Daniels thing into the mud. Remember? That was, they ran that one, and that wasn't sticking. So they came out with Russia, 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 Russia. You know what I'm saying? I mean, did he got? I mean, Trump got pics with Al Sharpton. Does that mean he a federal agent, a federal informant like Al Sharpton is? Trump got pictures with Mike Tyson. Does that mean he raped women? Come on, man, think. That you got to think, bro. You really got to think about this. But that's what people do. I mean, quite frankly, that's what people do. They divert and distract. The fact of the matter is, let's see who comes out. Let's see who they sacrifice. And I promise you, if they got some dirt on Trump, they're going to sacrifice his ass on the altar so quick. They would have already done it. They haven't done it, so they don't have anything. But let's see. Let's see if the first person that comes out on that list is him. I seriously doubt it. But we'll see. You can speculate all you want based on pictures. We'll see. Dame Dash came out just recently. Go look at what Dame Dash had to say about Diddy. Go look at what 50 Cent had to say about Diddy. Go look at what Tony Yayo had to say about Diddy. Go look at, I'm interested in seeing, the one person that I'm interested in seeing is Fonzworth Bentley. Where the hell is Fonzworth Bentley? Remember the guy who had the umbrella that was walking around with the umbrella covering Diddy? If anybody knows some shit, it's Fonzworth. I won't see what Fonzworth has to say. Go look and see what Goody Mob had to say about P. Diddy. These are all, go look at what my man Pimp C had to say about Diddy. Go look and see. Especially what Goody Mob had to say about Diddy. Rico from Goody Mob. Rico, who was the Don of Atlanta back in the day. The Don of Atlanta. So I'm interested in seeing who they use. They got to sacrifice somebody. They're lining it up. I think that'll be our narrative change. I could be wrong. We'll find out. If he connected to anybody, it's the Clintons. And if anybody in his behind and doing it to him from the bad side is old Hillary. You dig? Dame Dash came out and said the most profound thing about Jay-Z. He said the most profound thing. He said, these are his exact words. He said, I don't understand. And he said, I want you to understand. He said, in context, he said, I don't care for Jay because what Jay did to my money. He said, but in context, I hate to see what's happening to his legacy. And I'm confused as to why he's not speaking out. Why are you silent with all the things that are being said about you? Why are you keeping quiet? He said, it will be real easy for you to just come out and say, man, I ain't had nothing to do with none of that, and refute it. He said, why is he not refuting it? He said, I'm confused. He said, I'm perplexed because it's a part of our legacy. That's a man who was his business partner. Now, I would love to see what Biggs had to say that was down with Rockefeller, but Biggs never talks anyway. I mean, Biggs don't, that dude just, historically, he just never fucking talks. So, can't tell you. I cannot tell you. What I will say is we about to see something. At this point in time, we don't have a choice. Somebody got to do something. And I haven't checked the Diddy news for today because there's something new that comes out of it. Did they say anything today already? Somebody say he's snitching. He was already a Fed, though. Yeah, Russell Simmons did get the hell out of America and sat over there and was like, became a Buddhist. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. And we'll see how it all plays out. Take a few more hits of this and then I'm out of here. Somebody said something already is happening behind the veils. Yeah, the armies of Zion is marching, is what's happening behind the veils. Jesus is pissed. Y'all saw what happened to Billy Carson, right? Did y'all see what happened to Billy Carson? Billy Carson came out, assumed the position of King Gnostic, came out preaching all kind of doctrines, rose to the highest heights of the mountain of influence, and went to the very tip top. He went to Joe Rogan. He went to Alex Jones. The height of the mountain of influence. I'm sorry. People may think the height of the mountain is going on stuff like freaking CNN or one of those late night talk shows. That's not the mountain. Went to the height of the mountain, talked all that stuff. While he was on Alex Jones' show, said that Yahweh, the God of the Bible, is Satan. Left that show, came under full-fledged assault from every Christian YouTuber there. They exposed him, and then he got judged. And then recently he was like, I almost died. I almost died. I called that one. I said, man, this dude here about to get wrecked. He's about to get wrecked unlike anybody's ever been wrecked. I said, you about to get wrecked. Go look it up. He made his own post. Him in the hospital, almost died. I'll be back soon. Okay. Let's see if he do it again. You're going to sit there and attack the true living God. Okay. See how that work out for you. No. That cigar's never going to go out now. It's hanging on the edge of a ledge where the wind is just going to constantly keep blowing it. Go listen to him. Anybody who listen to him. Nah, I'm gonna let it burn. Let it do what it do. It ain't in danger of falling on nobody. It's just gonna burn. All right, my man said I told Billy. You probably did warn Billy. Hey, bro, you can't tell people those kind of things. There's a guy from the cryptid field. He would decide he's gonna do the same thing. Preach the same doctrine. Go all over the place preaching the exact same doctrine. Want to argue and fight with everybody. Man, you picking fights with the Lord. You pick fight with God. That ain't never worked out good for nobody. Satanists, no, you don't pick a fight with God directly. You don't pick a fight with God directly. Pick a fight with the sons and daughters and the children. You don't pick a fight with him directly. That's just dumb. I mean, you knew something was wrong with Billy Carson when you look in his eyes. Anybody who has any level of discernment, when you look in the eyes, the boy had dead eyes. Like it was a legion of demons in his eyes. I mean, just dead. Go look at him now. Go look at any Billy Carson video. Look at his eyes. The first time my partner sent me a link, man, you seen this guy, Billy Carson? I don't know who that is. I looked at it. I looked at his eyes. I closed it. I said, man, don't follow that man. Look at his eyes. And my partner was like, what do you mean? I said, watch this. I said, think about every killer we know that we grew up with. I mean, head buster, wig splitter, serial killer. And then think about their eyes and think about his eyes. He said, oh, shit. You right. I said, yeah. Yeah. Glad he didn't die, though. Super duper intelligent dude. If he applied it the right way, he could win a lot of souls. But he applied another way. My man said clones have no souls. Yeah, the Gramps, you know what I'm talking about. Billy said a lot of wild stuff. He said a whole bunch of wild stuff that'll get you hurt. Thank you, Art of Nothingness. This Art of Nothingness dude is on his game. That's what grievous wolves are. They sound very convincing. They sound extremely convincing. That's why Paul called them grievous wolves. Cigar's gone, coffee's gone. For the ladies, I'm going to sit here and agitate you guys just a little bit longer by sucking on the ice in the cup, which I do that periodically because if you know anything about women, they cannot stand that noise. I don't know any woman who will sit there and say, oh, that sounds great. They'll be like, stop doing that. It's disgusting. I'm getting ready to go ahead and release the rest of these videos for you guys and see what is out there. Is there talks of there being a strike on the West Coast as well? Ports on the West Coast, are they talking about a strike over there as well? Or are we still only dealing with the South and the Southeast? Has anybody seen any news on that? It's supposed to be ports nationwide. That would be wild. I'm going to go look for myself just to see. That would be wild. That would be an intentional assault on America. Just for the record, America's under attack. I mean, we under attack probably like we've never been under attack from the inside before. You got, and it's an attack on all levels. Spiritual attack with Satanists, pedophiles, child rapists, voodoo practitioners are led into the nation to raise altars to their gods. It's an attack financially on our ports. It's an attack top down from the media. Well, the media is now propagandizing the people, which is what you've experienced and what you're seeing. That's what you saw with the news pertaining to the deadly virus. She under attack, like I said. She's one strong girl, boy, I'm going to tell you. One strong little lady. What she is. Somebody be like, well, why are you making America a lady? Why are you saying that? Because it's spiritual, because there's the ecclesia inside of America, and they are the bride of Christ. And so, yeah. When I pray, I be like, Lord, why you letting them beat up on your woman like this? Why you letting them beat up on your bride? I be trying to get them to be jealous. I want to see his jealous side. That's what I want to see. I want him to be jealous, to be a little pissy that they're messing with his wife. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later.